Reversing land degradation will require a global investment amounting to a cumulative $8.4 trillion by 2050 if ecosystems continue to decline. The consequences of inaction are dire for our planet and the people sharing it. But the opportunities are promising. Investing in returning land to health and ensuring it stays that way makes sound economic sense, and the benefits often far exceed the costs. Each dollar invested in land restoration is estimated to return between $7 to $30 in economic benefits. The time is now for actions and solutions. UNCCD Executive Secretary Ibrahim Tiao states, "Now is the time to harness political will, innovation, and collective action to restore our land and soil for short-term recovery and long-term regeneration to ensure a more stable and resilient future." Sustainable land management, or SLM, has a central role to play in all ecosystems. This includes farmlands, grasslands, forests, mountains, freshwaters, peatlands, oceans and coasts, and even urban areas. UNCCD has collaborated with the World Overview of Conservation Approaches and Technologies, WOCAT, to document underground SLM practices from success stories in ecosystems around the world, to give an idea of where and how SLM can contribute to land restoration. Examples of SLM cover a broad range of interventions, such as mangrove planting, rice terracing, wastewater recycling, and many others. There are countless ways that we can restore our degraded land, and it's not too late to reverse course. By adopting more sustainable practices and planning for the long-term health of our land-based ecosystems, we can help to protect the planet and ensure a bright future for all. By restoring our land, we sustain life.
Thank you. Thanks UNCCD colleagues to prepare this video. As all of you have heard from this forum, ADB's ambition for the leading climate change, as a leading climate change bank in the Asia Pacific region, would like to invest $100 billion by 2030, and we are promote the natural capital investment. I think this video really encouraging to support us to promote the investment for the healthy ecosystems, which we are working on, and we also hope to support private sectors to get profit to provide from providing public goods. That's our dream. But today, I hope you can show some best practices. As everybody knows, the drought is more challenging than before. So many projects is working on the flood control and also irrigation. But today, maybe we can discuss further how can we support the healthy ecosystem, especially the carbon farming might be the best solutions. Okay, now it's a great honor to introduce Xiaoxia Jia. He's a program officer, science, technology, innovation from the UNCCD. He would like to share the opportunities to sustainable land management for carbon, food, water, and energy. Please.
Thank you, participants, we would like to share, you have already watched the video on sustainable land management. So my slides is continue the talk, what the UNCCD should provide to support the countries to restore our land. You know where our food coming from? Yeah, where is the slide? Okay. Yes, this is very simple knowledge for everyone understand where our food, energy, and air coming from. From photosynthesis, we can get the food from the combination carbon dioxide, water by using sunshine. How can we improve our food supply and atmosphere air supply? We need management of land. That means nutrients support this food production is from soil. Water in soil provides the enabler for the photosynthesis and with the sunshine. You know, this is a land. Healthy land will support the structure and the function of the land-based ecosystem. So it also plays a role of carbon sequestration, and also they give the emission. So two roles. How can we enhance the restoration of carbon in soil depending on in which way we manage land? So UNCCD also dealing with mitigation of drought effects. We know in recent 10 years, a drought in frequency, duration, and severity all has got worse, where human beings are suffering from much more impact from drought. If we look at the aridity change globally, we can find that Asia is one of the regions have the most big population under effect of dry climate and shortage of water. How can we manage our land food in the future? It's depending on our way of management of land. Yeah. If we cannot manage our land in a proper way, you know, with increase of aridity, our land will get breakdown from degradation of vegetation to soil degradation. Finally, we lose all the function of ecosystems. Yeah. So, and then we can find what is the role of UNCCD. UNCCD is a convention to support the countries to take a sustainable way to restoration, conservation, and sustainable use of the land, and mitigation of drought. We have the UNCCD strategic framework. In this framework, land degradation neutrality was set as a visional long-term goal. That means by 2030, we would like to strive to achieve a land degradation neutrality world. Under this vision, we have 5 objectives. Objective 1 is to improve the affected ecosystems. Objective 2 is improve the population's living condition. Objective 3 is improve the resilience to drought and reduce the vulnerability of population and ecosystems. So UNCCD is not only working on land, but water is naturally included because land including biological process and hydrological process. So by include the land degradation neutrality into the 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda, we can find that the SDG 15.3 clearly requires the parties to make their efforts to combat desertification, restore degraded land and soil, including land affected by desertification, drought, and flat, and for achieving a land degradation neutrality world. This is also the goal of our convention. So what is the land degradation neutrality? That is a state whereby the amount and quality of land resources necessary to support ecosystem functions and services and enhance food security remain stable or increase. No net loss of the quantity and quality of land. This is the land degradation neutrality. It is not only a goal, but a framework working from integrated land use planning to managing to keep a balance of land service for food, water, energy, and other ecosystem services. It's effective land governance support this process. We need also change our way of land management to sustainable land management practice. The last one, keep monitoring and assessment, measure, to understand the progress and find the shortage and readjustment our implementation. So we know that LDN, for achieving LDN, UNCCD support from target setting, project development, monitoring, and also knowledge, scientific, and data. So from the current data analysis, we can find 842 actions from 86 countries involved in agriculture-related practice. It's ranked as the second of the most conducted activities. So land improvement firstly contribute to agriculture, sustainability, and food security. Drought is another side of the convention's work. We emphasize monitoring risk and vulnerability, impact assessment, and actions to mitigate drought effect. The key of the UNCCD's work is to transfer from previous reactive response to drought, disasters, and impact to proactive preparation for drought, to do something from managing land, early warning, and prepare ourselves to adapt to the change of the climate with much more severe drought. This is the three pillars from drought management: monitoring, early warning, vulnerability assessment, and risk mitigation measures. So UNCCD, in collaboration with other organizations, institutions, on the request of the government of Spain and Senegal, support the International Drought Resilience Alliance. This is one alliance, including governments and also other institutions working together to mobilize resources to facilitate collaboration, understanding drought, and improve the drought resilience. This alliance was launched 1 year before. This is an important initiative to do drought mitigation from UNCCD's work. So the UNCCD also, we mentioned, we support the data, monitoring and reporting. We can measure the progress, inform the decision making, and also to allow us to make adjustment of implementation. We have the indicators to measure our progress relevant to land, water, people, and partnership and resource management. So this is the UNCCD data platform, data dashboard, launched in last year in October. That's the first time we have the data, quantitative analysis based on the data from the country parties against those indicators. We can provide the progress measuring through our data dashboards, collected data, the proportion of land under degradation, the proportion of land under drought, and also we can also show what is the status of diversity loss and what is the connection with drought, with land management. So, but according to our analysis, implementation of action is quite limited. It's due to we lack of enough investment. For a long time, because the restoration are time-consuming and also need a lot of earlier investment. But in early years of restoration, we have not so much of return. If we want to change the trends of degradation of our land and ecosystem functions, we need to fulfill the pledge made by the countries to at least restore 1 billion hectare degraded land by 2030. To achieve this goal, we need invest of 1.6 trillion in this decade. So how can we achieve this? This is to show what the difference between natural restoration and human active restoration. Natural restoration, for 100 years, we can only get 75% to 50% of plant or species of diversity get recovery. But for human active restoration with scientific methods, we can get 92% to 215% higher than the natural restoration. This research made by the US scientists, they made comparison of China's Green for Grain program with the natural generation. So that means we need actively act to restore our land. In the process of restore, we need to enhance land, water, energy. Land is demanding for food, for ecosystem, and for other purpose. And energy, we know 30% of global energy is for food production and supply chain. Energy also support extraction and pumping water and irrigation. Water stress is a limiting factor, also enabling a factor for land management and agriculture. So how can we got those powers to enhance the water efficiency, to push forward our restoration? From this map, we can find the land degradation area coincide with the high potential solar energy area. So in dry area, maybe we can use the rich resources to power the land to get our vegetation and ecosystem restored more efficiently. So that is why we introduce at this time, want to introduce a new model, co-development of solar energy and restoration. By this way, we can achieve double income. The solar panel can achieve, get electricity, and under panel practice, crop practice, rangeland management can also enhance income from land. That will enable the land users to get early return from their business from solar energy generation, selling the electricity. And the solar panel usually have lifespan of 25 to 30 years. In the 25 to 30 years, they give the time of the land to get restoration, step by step, get the possibility to get economic income. The German scientists, the research show also that in combination of solar panel and management of agriculture can increase land use efficiency. In this combination, we can with different crops, we can achieve different gains. So that means that the highest one is we can increase the land use efficiency up to 160% of the total land efficiency. So already been used in Germany, France, and also in China, US, this model. This gives the opportunity to get more income by the land users. So Of course, when we restore our land, we have another income, potential income, is carbon benefits. Soil is the biggest carbon storage, carbon sink. By good management of land, the recovery of vegetation and soil organic carbon will create both biomass carbon sequestration and soil sequestration. Potentially, we can sell this credit in international carbon trading market. Although at this moment, soil carbon have not yet been officially included in the official market, but in quite some voluntary market, we still can find those interested stakeholders to buy. So this is the model of combination of land restoration with renewable energy, particularly solar energy, together. They help us to achieve multiple goals of sustainable development. Another point is with electricity, we can also solve partially of water scarcity issues in quite some areas. In the color of pink, you can think this economic water scarcity. It means water available underground, but the area lack of capacity to use this water. That means power. With power, we can generate irrigation capacity. We can have them to use water smart, water saving equipment that will allow us have a sustainable way to recover our land. The UNCCT can support the countries if we would like to restore our land from the land use planning. This we have the guidance to help countries to find the right tools and ways to planning your land, to find the right place to do right projects in right scale, including all those elements combined together. The last point, coming to our region, one of the examples in China's 15th 5 years plan, we can find the solar energy, the renewable energy development plan, mainly in west part of China. The ecological improvement plan also, they have a huge area of desertification or dry land in west part of China. And by this kind of combination, the country is emphasized on how can we use this integrated approach. Yeah, there are some. Central Asia have also this similar potential. Those countries have a big solar energy potential. They can use this kind of model and to solve their water issues by using water saving methods and others. So we can support design of sustainable management patterns with solar department colleagues together. So that is the way we would like to support the countries to achieve land degradation neutrality from 5 pathways to achieve multiple benefits, to find innovative financing, enhance subnational ownership and capacity, and improve inclusive governments that the stakeholders to participate, scaling up of our successful best practices and get the regional change. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's very comprehensive. I think we need to digest it a little bit. But very clear, very encouraging. The first one is actually, maybe some colleagues not realized. UNCCD has, the convention was approved in 1992, together with 1994. Similar time with the UNFCCC and UNCBD. Yeah.
2 years later.
2 years later, yes. same period in 1992 and 1994. So another convention has been well noted, implemented very well. This one has been, how to say, not so famous maybe among all the colleagues. But today is a good opportunity. We are discussing how to tackle with the drought as a science disaster. So we are considering whether Xiaoxia is proposal, like for example, the land degradation neutrality can be similar as net zero target of UNCCD. Whether it can be used to develop, for example, ADB's operations, like the policy-based loan. Think about it, and then we discuss. Now we'll invite FAO colleagues Brown Mikla. He's a specialist global soil partner. She will give the presentation online. Could you use 6 minutes for your presentation? Thank you. Welcome.
Absolutely. Great. Thank you so much. Hello. As mentioned, my name is Michaela. I am a soil health and climate change specialist with the FAO, specifically the Global Soil Partnership, and I coordinate the Recarbonization of Global Agricultural Soils Initiative. So today I'll talk through some of our soil carbon management tools, but first I'll introduce the Global Soil Partnership and what RecSoil is in general, and then look at what we're doing in Asia specifically. Great, so next slide. First, to introduce the Global Soil Partnership. This is a mechanism within the Food and Agriculture Organization established in 2012 that looks to build strong partnerships to strengthen soil governance and sustainable soil management. Next slide. So we operate in somewhat of a unique model in that we operate with member countries and non-governmental partners, in which we have 164 focal points appointed directly by the FAO, but then also look to different types of organizations worldwide, of which we have about 500 partners. We also operate in regional partnerships in which the focal points collaborate to implement sustainable soil management and strengthen soil governance. Then we also operate in sub-regional partnerships and national partnerships, looking at how partners can come together to address soil degradation issues in the countries. Next slide. This gives a snapshot of our updated framework and some of the layers that we tackle in order to look at soil health and halting of soil degradation. So we work with our partners and our focal points through a number of different soil threats, which are listed there at the bottom. So soil carbon loss, soil biodiversity loss, for example, and a number of other issues that tie into soil degradation. But as soil carbon is the focus for today's deep dive, that's also my focus within the Global Soil Partnership. So I'll be addressing what we do in order to address soil carbon loss within the GSP. Next slide. So I work with the Recarbonization of Global Agricultural Soils Initiative, which is a carbon-based initiative looking to improve the overall state of soil health by maintaining or increasing soil carbon stocks. This mechanism encourages farmers by providing both training, knowledge capacity building, and financial incentives to cover the cost of implementing sustainable soil management. And we also work with governments in order to see what kind of techniques we can employ and what capacity we can build to scale sustainable soil management to increase soil carbon stocks and increase soil health over time. Next slide. This is a 5-year project. It works in 5-year cycles. And then at the end of each 5-year cycle, we take stock and see how we can continue to scale the initiative. But this map shows the 7 phases that we operate in, going step by step to build capacity to address the relevant soil threats in each country. So we don't only focus on soil carbon loss, but also look at some of those other land issues that may be contributing to the decline in soil health in the country. So first, we use a set of tools to identify prime locations to sequester carbon, where sustainable soil management may have the highest impact. Next, we look into identifying the right partners within the country. So looking at all of the capabilities and seeing which partner institution can best fulfill those roles. Then we move into the technical training and capacity building. We work with a number of other global soil partnership networks, such as the global Land, who works with our laboratories, building standard operating procedures to standardize and harmonize all of our soil carbon analysis methodologies. Then we also look to partner with the Global Soil Doctors Program, which is a farmer-to-farmer capacity building program in which farmers are trained on sustainable soil management. So we go through all of that after identifying the particular soil threats that we want to address. Then we move into defining exactly how we will manage and monitor soil carbon. So this is based on the carbon market. We operate in two paths, the green path and the carbon path. The carbon path is geared towards directing participating countries to participate in the carbon market. We don't directly tie participants to the carbon market, but we do create an enabling environment so that if countries want to enter the carbon market, then all of our protocols will be helpful in facilitating that entry. We mostly focus on the green path, which does focus on soil carbon sequestration, but largely focuses on soil carbon sequestration for the output of soil health, which is slightly different from the end goal of the selling carbon credits on the carbon market. Then we move into the baseline assessment, in which we use the different SSM protocols and the Global Soil Organic Carbon Sequestration Monitoring, Reporting, and Verification Protocol to ensure that we're measuring and monitoring soil health and soil carbon in a way that's consistent across projects, but also consistent with international best practices, and again, can fit into the carbon market if that's what these projects so desire. Then the longest phase of the project is when we actually implement, measure, and monitor all of the sustainable soil management practices that were selected at the beginning. So this is the 4-year chunk in which each year the impact of sustainable soil management is monitored in the project sites over time. Then to close out the project, we look at continuity planning, see what went well, what did not go well in the project, and troubleshoot in order to continue scaling and restore land and increase soil carbon to improve soil health to the best of our ability. Next slide. Within RecSoil, we use a number of different tools to achieve this end. The main tools that we rely on are our protocols. As mentioned, these standardize the way that we measure soil carbon, as soil carbon in the carbon market has been a hot issue, and we look to provide clarity and clear manuals in order to standardize and harmonize how we measure soil carbon and give clear, transparent methods of accurately, but also in a way that's tailored to the budget of the project, can measure soil carbon and how sustainable soil management impacts soil carbon over time. We also, as mentioned, work with a number of different networks within the Global Soil Partnership. We have, for example, the network on black soils or carbon-rich soils. So we're currently partnering, and I'll speak to this in the next slide as well, with the Black Soils Network in Kazakhstan to maintain and increase soil health there. We also work with the network of salt-affected soils or the network on soil pollution as we look to improve other soil health issues while increasing soil carbon, so we can ensure that our sustainable soil management practices have the highest impact possible. We also use a number of different geospatial tools, such as the Global Soil Organic Carbon Sequestration Map, to pinpoint where exactly the project could have the highest impact. So which pieces of land could sequester the most carbon or could increase the most in soil health by implementing sustainable soil management practices. Next slide. So that backdrop of the project, I'll go into some of the areas that we're working on in particularly Central Asia, but across Asia in general. So as mentioned, we are currently establishing a pilot project in Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan has an incredibly high proportion of black soil, which play an incredibly important role in carbon storage. So the degradation of black soils could lead to a massive increase in carbon emissions from soils. And we are currently seeing various land degradation issues in Kazakhstan within the black soils, but also soil pollution has been a significant issue, as well as persistent organic pesticides have been shown in various areas of Kazakhstan, and a number of ongoing projects within the Kazakhstan Country Office are related to soil pollution. So we wanted to combine efforts there to see how we could both protect existing carbon stocks, increase carbon stocks, and target those pollution issues that we're seeing. So our target production systems in these two regions, first in the north, this is an incredibly important grain production region. So we're looking at working with farmers to improve sustainable soil management and integrate things like intercropping or other practices in order to increase carbon stocks. And then also the amount of rangeland and livestock present in Kazakhstan is an important system that we're targeting as well. Then in the more southern regions, we're working with smallholder farmers. So outside Almaty, and this is where we're also particularly focusing on soil pollution remediation. So we're working with smallholder farmers to integrate sustainable soil management. And some of the activities that we're doing there is partnering with ongoing efforts. As mentioned, there's been important work in the FAO Kazakhstan office to establish monitoring systems for pollution. So now implementing sustainable soil management, continue that work. We're also selecting those practices to protect black soils. Next slide. In Uzbekistan, this is particularly interesting, looking at the alignment of UNCCD and land degradation neutrality objectives, because there are ongoing efforts in Uzbekistan to protect the degradation, to make progress against land degradation neutrality objectives. And we're partnering with ongoing projects there to strengthen the soil carbon measuring capacity, as that's one of the 3 indicators under SDG 15.3.1. So we're looking at using rec soil tools to add clarity and specificity, as right now often the metrics are tied to land cover, which doesn't always directly integrate local specific soil carbon data. So the more we can accurately measure on the ground sequestration of carbon, the more we can add clarity into how Uzbekistan is progressing against those land degradation neutrality targets. So the 2 regions that are circled here, this is a map that FAO and WOCAT made collaboratively and inspects signs of land degradation. And as you can see, there's significant signs of land degradation in both of the regions that we're operating in. So currently working with professionals in Uzbekistan to determine the best practices in rangelands and in medicinal plant production to sequester soil carbon for the purpose of restoring land. We're also collaborating with the Network on Salt-Affected Soils in order to address salinity. So this is another example of where those indicators, such as soil organic carbon, can be advanced while addressing other holistic soil health issues. Next slide. So this just shows with greater clarity how we target improving the soil organic carbon metrics in the land degradation neutrality indicators. Next slide. Move through it quickly because I know we're crunched on time. And then lastly, while this is not a full-scale pilot project in Mongolia, we do use rec soil tools from time to time to strengthen capacity within projects, mostly again to add clarity into the soil carbon stocks and use tools in order to accurately measure how much soil carbon is being sequestered through sustainable soil management practices. So we use a number of spatial tools, both to target areas for scale up. So this is the Global Soil Organic Carbon Sequestration Map, or other spatial data such as the bare soil index or other layers that show how much land degradation is occurring in various areas to show where further sustainable soil management practices should be employed. We also use these layers to generate strata for sampling, so we can sample a larger area, get clear indicators of how much soil carbon is being sequestered while reducing the number of samples that need to be taken. So in the case of Mongolia, for example, the project included over 50,000 hectares, and sampling that, taking that many soil samples would be both cost prohibitive and too much labor. So providing solutions in concrete ways to reduce the number of samples while still providing accurate insight into how much into the soil carbon stocks in the project. Next slide. So in these different ways, in different projects, this is how Rec Soil is delivering a comprehensive toolkit with standardized methodologies that's also tailored to the other issues that are occurring in the particular area of operation of the pilot projects. And thank you so much for listening to a little bit about Rec Soil and ongoing efforts in Asia. That's all I have for you today, and happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much, Michelo. That's excellent program, and also very valuable for ADB to reach our climate investment target. We have some loan project has been included on the soil health, soil improvement. So hope we'll have more opportunity to have further discussion. Next, we would like to invite different speakers from countries to share their best practices after this two keynote presentation. Great pleasure to invite DG Zuo Changsheng. Zuo Changsheng. He is the DG from the Bureau of State Farmers of the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Affairs from China. You are flexible to share any ideas after these presentations. Welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Guo, and it's really a pleasure for me to come to this forum and this session. And we, in the past 4 days, we have had many speeches, presentations, and panel discussions. And we come here to face the challenge of food security, and especially in the panel, in the session discussion, we touch many aspects related to the food security. Today, the world is facing many new challenges: climate change, geopolitical conflict, and the new economic situation, specialized or characterized by protectionism, and we're facing the more fertile price. So, how to, under this new situation, how to realize food security for all is our common task, and this is why it is so important for ABD to organize such a forum to bring together all the players to discuss, to find a major problem and to find a way out. You know, China is a large country with a huge population of 1.4 billion, and for the past decades, China has successfully fed its people with only 7% of the world arable land. It's not an easy thing, you know, and facing this new challenge, we know the task for China is not easier than any other countries. want to when I was asked by Madam Guo to say something, to share our stories, China stories, I think it over. What can I contribute to this discussion? We have many experts, policy expert, soil expert, and information technology expert. I myself come from the Ministry of Agriculture, and I worked there for more than 30 years. And through my personal experience and based on the successful Chinese story in realizing food security, I just want to share 3 points with our friends. That is how to successfully implement our theories, our models, our ideas into practice. I want to emphasize 3 aspects. One is the strong leadership of the government. In this region, the agricultural sector is mainly dominated by the smallholder farmers. So we don't have very big, very strong private sector, the giant private sector. So any successful implementation, especially at large scale, we have to emphasize the leadership of the government. When we discussing about food security, when we discussing about sustainable agricultural development, when we discussing about the prevention of natural resources, we have to put this issue into the national strategy, incorporated into these issues into the national strategy. That means the government must take a leading role in this. The government have to make a clear object, clear version, clear roadmap, and to show it strong commitment and strong leadership on this issue. And it must, in doing so, it must provide more support, more public good to the society. That's the first thing I want to say. The second point is realizing food security, promoting sustainable agriculture. The driving force is technology and innovation. We can not merely depend on the import, the budgetary spending, the intensive use of labor forces. No. The final solution depends on technology and innovation. In each country, in each period, and in each region, we have different problems. So we have to identify the major technology to addressing these issues. And when we talk about technology, it's not only about cutting edge or high-tech technology. That is very important, of course. On the other hand, we have to pay more attention to the practical or useful practice models and the creation of a practical system may be created by the local farmers. And that is the second point. The last point I want to say is that in implementing these policies, implementing our program, we must put the farmers at the center of our work. That we must address the concerns of the farmers. We must integrate the farmers in these activities. And we must make sure that the farmers can benefit from this action, these programs. Right? Oh, that's what I want to share with you. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, DG. You highlighted the 3 key messages we will take away. Try to remember this is implementation, but mainly need to mainstreaming into national strategy, and for technology, and the farmers it's our center. Should be remembered in our mind. And this is great experiences since the DG has been working in the national office of the poverty reduction. So this is a great achievement of the whole China in the past decades. So these valuable experiences we will share. We have been shared, ADB have shared with other countries, poverty reduction. Next, we would like to, as mentioned, the private sector is very important as well. We hope to invite our colleagues from China, Ms. Julia Nie is chair of the Hong Kong Alien Foundation and the Training Foundation. Ms. Julia, please.
My topic today is about the Kubuchi model. Let me introduce you a little bit about E-Lion Group, which has been conduct desert control and governance in the past 35 years, and is being rewarded with World Dryland Champion and Champion of the Earth by the United Nations. The pictures on the right side are both taken from the satellite, showing a comparison of a selective area of the Kubuchi Desert before and after 16 years of successfully desert control and governance. Kubuchi Desert. Kubuchi Desert is the 7th largest desert in China with a total area of 18,600 square kilometers in the Erdo Space, Inner Mongolian, and is the closest desert to the capital city of Beijing. According to the book of poetry, the ancient city of Sufang used to appear in the Kubuqi area about 3,000 years ago. At that time, Kubuqi area was full of grass, abundant water, and herds of cattle and sheep. So many ethnic groups thrived and lived there by that time. Then things started to get worse. In Qing dynasty, around a few hundred years ago, and because of years of wars and overgrazing and cultivating, Kubuqi area became desert and has a name of the Sea of Death. Okay, this is Mr. Wang Wenbiao, the founder of Eline Group, receiving award from the United Nations and being invited at an award ceremony by Xi Jinping, the chairman of China. Okay. When we talk about the Kubuqi model, well, it's inevitable to talk about the photovoltaic desert control project. Let me introduce you with one of the largest desert solar farm in the world, the 2 gigawatts West in a Mongolian base photovoltaic desert control project. This project is co-invested and constructed by both Eline Group and these 3 gorgeous energy in China. And this project was successfully connected to net last year in November. And this project has set 3 firsts and 1 world first. As you can see, it's the largest single unit scale 3-dimensional ecological photovoltaic desert control project by far, and the largest single unit desert photovoltaic project connected to the grid at one time, and the first desert control photovoltaic project applied to the soft material, soft supporting material that has been independently developed by the Eline Group at a very large scale. And it is also the world's first commercially operating perovskite photovoltaic desert control project, which has realized the large scale of industrialization application for the perovskite photovoltaic module. The Eline 3-dimensional structure eco photovoltaic desert control model. What is this? Actually, we call it the 3 integrations. This model has almost fully utilized Eline's research and development for 12 years. So what does this model work? It actually combines photovoltaic with ecological desert control and low carbon industries together with modern agriculture. So as you can see from the picture, right, it has double power generation on top of the panel and have double agriculture beneath them and double breeding in between. Well, the use, So the use of double glaze module achieves the bifacial power generation on top of the panel, and it could increase power generation by 5 to 10%. And below the panel, on the ground, the large span of the use of soft material supporting brackets could allow high quality of forage and medicinal crops to be planted in between the panels. So to achieve ecological agriculture. And as you see, the animals there, they are the sheep and chicken. All right, by returning those animal waste back to the soil for desert control and soil improvement. This is how the model works, and it could achieve the photovoltaic plus multi-benefits. The outcome could be like power generation on the top, and then all those that have been mentioned. Okay, so So this model could actually generate annual green electricity by around 4.1 billion kilowatt hours, can reduce coal use around 1.3 million million tons, and reduce 3.2 million metric tons of carbon emission. So up to 16,500 acres of desert could be restored and controlled, and using the other technique that has been developed by Eline Group, such as the micro-invasive plantation and drone seeding, this type of technologies, the desert has been controlled, and there is a reduction of 2 million tons of sediment transported into the Yellow River each year. And this model has also powerfully driven local economic to develop, as well as offering job opportunities to the local farmers and herdsmen. During construction period, 1,000 working opportunities has been offered in the community, and during the operation phase, we expecting a steady 500 working opportunity to be offered each year in activities such as module cleaning, crop maintenance, and forestry farming. So yeah, I would say desert control is a practice practiced systematically. So it needs big data analysis, germplasm technology, and plantation technologies. Let me give you an example. The drone, using drone sowing. Okay, a drone can carry up to 10 kilograms of seeds and can fly 3 kilometers far. And the seeds are actually covered by a special material that is made of compostable materials, which could provide the seeds in sufficient nutrition and moisture for them to be able to anchor into the seeds. Giving credit to the whole digitalization undergoing within the Eline Group, the latest technology for tree planting is using robot, as you can see from, it's the right-hand picture, and this one. Okay, so according to the planting scheme, this type of robot can optimize the planting routes by identifying and avoiding the obstacles, then carrying out autonomous digging and planting. So according to data, the yield could be 60% higher in terms of efficiency and 50% higher in terms of survival rate. Right? So the cost of planting like 10 billion trees could be reduced up to $100 million US. So it's quite a significant improvement. All right, this is the Kubuqi, has the largest germplasm resources bank in the west of China. And it has successfully cultivated more than 1,000 cold-resistant, drought-resistant, and salt alkali-resistant plantations, providing strong guarantee for governance of the Kubuqi Desert. Okay, here are some products of the Kubuqi Desert. The end products are mainly made of the fruits and medicinal crops planted in the Kubuqi Desert. As you can see, some health products, some beverage, cooking oil, and wine. The ecological wealth in Kubuqi Desert, according to UNEP's research report, is around $14.45 billion US. Okay. At last but not least, all right. Now don't forget to mention that the convention center in Kubuqi is the only designated venue for the world-class biannual forum, which is the Kubuqi International Desert Forum, organized by the United Nations. And it has been successfully held for 9 times in the past, and we expecting the 10th to come in the coming 2025. And that is all for me today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Julia. We has been behind the schedule, but I would like to show another TA results on Kubuchi, please. Yeah, this is ADB TA. We have finished. We focus on the GEP accounting, and I will skip it, and we work on to support the Natural Capital Lab. I skip the background. Here is ADB's natural laboratory virtual platform. Here we have an ADB colleague, Snaria, who has been working together with me for the COP28 site event, and he is leading the Natural Capital and the Natural Capital Fund. So that's why it's my honor to introduce him. He has been here to support our possible cooperation, and we this is some data, but I think you have a very good knowledge from the Eileen colleagues. We work on the GEP accounting technical guideline and also the software to support the local government to account the GEP, including the carbon sequestration. Yeah, this is the results. I think this the carbon sequestration and oxygen resilience is about 6%. And this is not so large, but I think it's one of a tool to measure, as Xiaoxia mentioned, measure, how to measure the ecological service. This is, I would like to show, after 35 years, the Eileen group can get profit from the ecological restoration as they introduced, both from the land restoration, but also from the renewable development. So that's the best case to get profit for the private sector. The private sector is supporting the development of public goods. That's I would like to share. It's also ADB's appreciation to such kind of cases. Yeah, this is the key message I would like to share. We focus on how to develop the ecological compensation mechanism, transboundary impacts, especially the sandstorm. How can the Beijing-Tianjin compensate Inner Mongolia? And the carbon emission trading has been used in Kubuchi. The eco industry has been developed, as mentioned. How to value the GEP accounting has been promoted. The Green Development Fund was proposed. This is a summary on the module. The government policy, the market mechanism, industrial investment, and technology innovation. Hope this can be well integrated. They called four-wheel driving governance module. That's the conclusions. Thank you very much. And now, since we need to end this session at 5:30, now may I invite next speaker from Mongolia. Could we share your key message in 2 to 3 minutes? Thank you very much.
Well, because my PPT is, I hope, is accessible to all others, I would just say a few minutes, because I have a few minutes. Well, for Mongolia, land degradation is mainly related with rangeland use. Second, the main human-induced induced degradation comes from the mining and adjacent infrastructure. like roads, linear infrastructure, some camps and so on. But in majority, the land degradation more related with the rangeland. That's why during last 20 years, Mongolia is addressing this issue quite a lot. If we go to the lower slide, I think on the third slide, no, fifth slide. Yes, this slide shows how we did these different incentive mechanisms for rangelands and livestock breeders. So, but it's escalating the situation in terms of overgrazing. So the lesson learned from the economic policy programs is we need some disincentive to balance between these different economic mechanisms, and I hope we are trying to work among our ministries of finance and economy and agriculture to solve these economical tweaks and doubling things. The other thing which we urgently need to address is, of course, the reduction of the impact of land degradation. If we go to the slide number 9, we will see how the number of health issues is increasing because of the land degradation. I think the next one. Yeah. So this is a different regions of the Gobi and dryland regions, but this is above of the national average, and it's increasingly, especially related thing with the respiratory disease, cancer cases of lung and liver. So we have this social impact of land degradation, sand and dust storm, and other complex issues. So I don't know how, but through projects, programs, and especially related with the food security, we need to address this softly and hardly. And the last 4 or 5 slides is those best practices which we assume that it's helping our livestock herders to sustain this, become more resilient to land degradation, climate change, and other negative environmental consequences of global change. But, and all projects in Mongolia, which are run by UNDP, ADB, or whatever organization, almost all practicing, trying to adapt, adopt, and propagate these best practices. But what we from research organizations saw is that not every practice works as it was in one place to the other place. So this adopting technology, all these technical steps of this adoption has to be cultured into the Mongolian society and decision-making level and other people. As I show in my previous picture about the economic incentives, the one thing is economic growth with the bad economic decisions or political decisions are not good for environment at all. It's not solving that problem. So in that term, we need to learn a lot from especially from Southeast Asian countries, how they solve this economic incentive programs to sustain livelihood from another side and sustain economy and environment on the other side. I do know that the Mekong River Initiative had a great impact in terms of land degradation, in terms of economic sustainability. And the last thing is responsibility comes with the strong education. Even though, yes, we have many TAs from ADB, many grants, and Mongolian ADB portfolios, a lot focused on education, higher education. It's still not well culture in this things related with the lifelong learning and other stuff, which is a key for propagating, adopting different technologies. And I think that's all my message which I prepared. Thank you for
Thank you very much.
attention.
Thank you very much, Mandaka. I well noted your background is the geography, the economic, social, and environment is the key pillar which we are working for, and governance is the most important. Hope we can work together to develop the cooperation between PRC and Mongolia, as well as the Central Asia countries, to share your knowledge. Next one, could we quickly invite Gina Nila. She's Director, Bureau of Soil and Water Management, Department of Agriculture, Philippines. She is on a treatment for her wood leg. She cannot join on site. Please, 2 to 3 minutes, share your key message to take for the audience. Thank you. Can you hear us? Gina? Okay. We cannot see you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am video. Is it okay now?
Yes, go ahead. We cannot see you, but hear you clearly.
Okay.
Go ahead.
A pleasant good afternoon, everyone. I am grateful to the organizers, the Asian Development Bank, and the UNCCD for inviting us in this forum. The UNCCD is only convention based at the Department of Agriculture, and indeed it's an honor and privilege for the Bureau of Soils and Water Management as the UNCCD focal for the country to participate in this event. We are also the nationally, can we please move the slide? Next slide, please. Can I control this slide?
Could you share your conclusions and suggestions to us? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So I am pleased I would like to discuss in this paper that the Bureau of Soils and Water Management, as the nationally mandated agency on soil and water management, addresses in one of its program addresses two forms of land degradation in the country. One is on soil erosion, and the second is on soil fertility decline. I would like to speak that the National Soil Health Program, as it is now, address soil fertility decline in rice land areas, of which 83% of the country is low in fertility. However, what is unique in the program is that soil health is regularly monitored and measured in addition to sustainable land management technology. Thus, there are three components of the program on soil health program. One is the strengthening of soil laboratories to measure soil indicators using standardized test methods. And the next one is monitoring of soil health through various information and maps, data management system, as well as the implementation of sustainable soil management and sustainable land management. One of the major contributions in carbon farming is the promotion of the adaptive balanced fertilization strategy, which we implement nationwide in a contiguous area of 100 hectares all over the country. ABFS prescribed protocols according to the target yield. So we have several target yield, 5 to 6 tons, 7 to 8 tons per hectare. In this protocol, before planting
Next, the slides. Yeah. Can you see the slides? Next. Are you? Could you jump to the conclusion and the suggestions?
Okay. So, in this adaptive balance fertilization strategy, we feed the soil through carbon farming using compost or organic fertilizer. And after planting, that is where we feed the crop. However, let us realize that soil and water is a source of life. So we also consider an annual program to increase our areas irrigated to rice land. However, though critical to the success of the system is the ability of the soil to hold water and nutrient, and this is a benefit from carbon farming. Key messages: organic fertilizer or compost feed the soil and therefore ensure sustainability in producing food. It increases the capacity of the soil to store nutrient and moisture, thus increasing resilience to drought, and over time, inorganic fertilizer requirement is reduced. This also significantly reduces the cost of production. Soil health. Soil health is about the soil physical, chemical, and biological properties of the soil. And these altogether should all be considered in our nutrient management program. I'd like to borrow from the FAO in 1995 in 2022, where it says that 95% of our food is produced from land, and it all begins with soil and water. And to emphasize this, the GSWM in its 73rd anniversary, as for its theme, let us secure our future. The basic essentials is soil health and water. Let us manage it well. So cheers to BSWM at 73. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Gina. Thank you. Big applause. Yeah. Hope you recovered soon. Next one speaker is our excellent Mr. Wu Chao. He's a program officer, Innovative Finance Global Mechanism from UNCCD. The floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I hope I could finish this very quickly. I think this would be the shortest presentation I have made in my life. So to make a long story short, the global mechanism we are working is to assist countries to develop projects and programs to deliver on the country's commitment on LDN. That's kind of the whole story that I want to talk about. Yes, I can skip this one because of thanks to the Gia and the previous speakers, these two. So our work streams are based on two. We are supporting countries through two work streams. One is the targeting process of the LDN. So under this project, more than 130 participating countries established their national target sets. And then some of those are already approved at highest level at the government. So we are continue to support them to develop projects based on these targets. The significance of this LDN is the commitment made under this LDN target is account for almost half of the global restoration commitment, including NDC and MBSAP, etc., which is a billion hectares globally. Now we are at the LDN TSP 2.0 process. Once countries done the LDN targeting process, we continue to support countries to define the LDN target, which will be more specific, time-bounded, and policy coherent, quantitative, and spatially explicit, and the gender is responsive, etc. So this is next step of the LDN target setting. Now we have 18 countries for pilot. This will be expanded in coming years. And after the LDN targeting process done, then we support countries to develop actual projects, translating into the voluntary targets to actual actions on the ground. So this process is supported through the transformative project and program development. Actually, this to access this support, we need countries' a letter to requesting our support. So I think I can skip this. So globally, TPP, we have 74 countries already participate in the targeting process, and now we are working not only at country level, but we also work at regional level, such as Great Green Wall, dry coral ice in the Latin America, South Africa, Great Green Wall, seas in Caribbean and Pacific, and also Peace Project Initiative, which facilitates transboundary cooperations in the regions. Specifically for the Central Asia and Northeast Asia, all countries in the region finished the LDN targeting process, and some of the countries participate in the transformative project and program process. And there is a report published under the Drought Initiative, which is a Central Asia Regional Drought Strategy. And now this strategy is translated into a project led by WMO and the Global Water Partnership. And there's another report published for sand and dust storms in Central Asia. North Asia report is under development. And there's another resources available for countries in addressing sand and dust storms, which is Global Policy Framework and the Sand and Dust Storms Compendium. So this is about the regional strategy for sand and dust management in Central Asia. It presents 3 key priority action areas, which will be used for basic input material for project development in Central Asia. And the Peace Project Initiative, this initiative is a new one and actually aims to contribute to peace and security through sustainable resource management and restoration. In Central Asia, we organized a workshop last month, and the countries identified 3 priority topics: combating sand and dust storms and sustainable land and resource management in transboundary climate security hotspots of Fergana Valley and high mountains. And there is another one, the transparent management and the sharing of environmental and resource-related data, which will be materialized through a environment dashboard. We also try to engage private sector in our operations. So we launched the Business for Land initiative this year. It aims to bring together business sector worldwide with a keen interest in supporting and implementing land degradation neutrality measures. So we present 3 pillars for private sector to engage with the LDN target, achieving LDN. So ESG, including financial disclosure standards, and financing LDN through development and promotion, and contribution to the sustainable finance and philanthropic contributions for LDN. The last one is the advocacy for adoption of positive enabling environment towards LDN. Before finish, I'd like to share 2 more elements. One is the global rangeland standard. We are developing this global rangeland standard in partnership with private sector. This is a high-level principle on sustainable management of rangeland with a view to One Health approach, and this could be translated into national level and translated into national level for adoption. And I think that covers all my presentation. So happy to answer any questions if you might have. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ucha. Excellent presentation, and your efforts on the bankable project development is really very appreciated. Due to the time, it's time for photo, but I'm so sure whether which one is the most important, but I really like to invite Naren to know. Okay, we can have I think we can have a further discussion after this session. Let's take a photo with the others. But in general, today, we have so many excellent speakers, both on site and online. Thank you so much. It's really wonderful topics to be discussed further and to work together for the future possible operation, for sure. Thank you so much. Thank you.